So I'm making a video today about debunking some lies and myths about dating. So these are some of the stuff that I've heard from people that are misconceptions, right? So the number one thing I've heard is you shouldn't look for your soulmate because it's when you're not looking that you find the right person. And so what that does is it kind of suppresses what's in your heart. Instead of doing what your heart desires, which is to date, you're basically telling your heart, don't do what it wants to. Do you go looking for a car? Do you look for a house? We spend so much more time invested into our career, investing into a house or a car or whatever, instead of even investing into the heart, instead of investing into love, instead of investing into relationships, instead of investing into learning how to communicate. So that's the number one myth that I hear, that, hey, if you're not looking for something, it'll come to you. And so the Lord has told me, when you follow your heart, you will get what you want. So if your heart is like, hey, I have a desire for a relationship, I have a desire for marriage, and you follow it, you will get it. So some of the things that I've had to overcome is fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of failure. Like, I feel like this is not something they teach in church, but things like being bold enough, right, to approach a guy and say, hey, I think you're attractive, or hey, like, are you single? Like, being honest enough to say what's on your mind. The reason I feel like a lot of times I didn't really meet a lot of Christian guys in person is because I feel like they're too subtle and they don't say what's on their mind a lot of times, and they're too shy about wanting to go after what they want. It's not unholy to go after what you want. And for some reason, we grew up in churches that teach us that teach us to be shy about what we want. No, the Bible was full of bold people who went after what they want. And I think the second myth that I kind of grew up with is, okay, if that person is, you don't think that person is your soulmate, don't give them a chance. But it's not true, because in the process of learning to date and meet guys, the number one thing you have to learn is how to communicate with a male or woman. If you don't know how to say what's on your mind with the gender of your choosing, you don't know how to be in relationship. If you don't know how to communicate how you feel, you don't know how to be in relationship. If you're uncomfortable and you don't say that you're uncomfortable, again, you're suppressing how you feel. And so a lot of times people are like, oh, number 3 myth, that the worst dating tips that I've heard from someone is, you shouldn't say that you want marriage. You shouldn't say that you want kids because it will scare a guy away. Bro, am I trying to date someone who's not my husband? Or am I trying to find the one that I'm looking for? So, like, that's the worst freaking advice ever, okay? It makes me so freaking mad, because it's like saying, like, hey, change what you want to be accepted by people. And our world teaches that. Our world teaches us to compromise and melt ourselves into a version of something that someone likes. Dude, how are you going to find your soulmate if you are melting yourself into a mold that is not you, dude? Because people are going to see a fake version of you. And it makes me so freaking mad when people say that, because it's like, dude, no, I've met a lot of guys that are looking for marriage too, and they tell me that. I've met guys who are virgins. I've met guys who are celibate. Bro, if you're not celibate or a virgin, it's fine. But that's you. That's why, like, now I'm very upfront about what I believe and my beliefs about waiting till marriage, because I'm not sitting here trying to make you like me. I'm looking for my soulmate. I'm not looking for no John or Jim on the street. I'm looking for my soulmate. So they have to have the same values. And if you're changing yourself to become like something that I want, dude, you are melting into a mold that isn't you. So I think a lot of times in the dating process, like, people pretend to be something they're not so they can keep something that's not theirs. So again, they pretend to be something they're not so they can keep something that's not theirs. So what does going on dates and like learning what it is that you want, what is all of that? It's defining who you are and what you want in life. What kind of partner are you looking for? It's honing in on communication skills. It's honing in on, okay, I feel uncomfortable right now, or I have something to say. How do I say it? And how do I address it right away instead of ghosting that person? So this is something that I'm trying to teach people, because a lot of times I see so many people are just like, oh, I don't know, I kind of like him, but I don't know how to tell him. Like, or, oh, like, they're being really rude to me, but I don't know how to say it. And it's like, I think the more you practice it, the more you learn how to be honest and vulnerable. And so yeah, like, keep going after what you want. Those are the worst tips I've ever gotten in my whole life, and that actually the majority of America believes in. And that's why there's such a high divorce rate, because people aren't being honest about what they want to begin with. People are changing themselves to be accepted by others, to be accepted by someone that's not theirs. And so if you are compromising your values to be liked by someone, bro, no, girl, don't do that. This also applies to friendship. So many times we people please to be liked by others, but don't do it. Because in my 20s I did that, and like, it was not helpful. And now I've learned to be authentic and genuine and vulnerable, and learn, like, you know what? Yeah, I gotta be honest, So a lot of times, like, when people read my dating profile and they see that I'm waiting till marriage, they think it's a joke and it's a challenge. No, bro. It's not a challenge. It's not a joke. And I'm not lying. But because so many other people lie, they think that I'm lying. No, bro. So anyways, those are my top 3 myths and worst tips that people have given me. And that's so contrary to what God has told me. That a lot of the church actually believes in. Oh, just wait on God, God's timing. But it's like, no, God is telling you, follow your heart. What is it telling you? To go after it, and don't be afraid of the failure, the rejection that comes with dating. Because if you don't know how to be honed and be perfected in that process, then you're really not ready for marriage, because it's not a joke. Like, you need to work out your issues and learn how to communicate through the dating process, and learn how to, like, say what's on your mind. And even if you don't like someone, you say what's on your mind, and then you're able to overcome that fear of rejection, the fear that someone will respond negatively to you when you say your truth. So many times in America, people ghost instead of saying what's on their mind. But the healthy thing to do is to not ghost, to say exactly how you feel. And it's hard not getting closure, but sometimes, yeah, you do need to let things go. So anyways, God bless you. Bye.